Hi, my name is Matthew Corrales. I'm part of the MSSAL Master's Program, and this is my Assignment 1 Marketing Strategy for SAL 650. So today I'm going to be talking about my marketing strategy for Hartran Men's Volleyball in Kaluska, Georgia. I have two types of campaigns that I'm going to be doing, which are traditional media and brand awareness. Um, so for traditional media, this is going to consist of any media outlets that I'll be using to grow the exposure of my team and get our name out there. Some of these are going to include using Instagram and Facebook as outlets and having our players and coaches post at least on a weekly basis in order to get some clients in and hopefully get some exposure that way. Another way we can do this is through print advertisements, which can be done um, on the Adobe Suite, printed out and printed across campus, and we can post it across any local stores or restaurants. And this will be a way for any local teams to be able to see that we started a men's volleyball program, and they will be able to then participate in that. So for brand awareness, basically what we're going to be enforcing in our program and basically going by is the hashtag grow the game. And what this basically means is for men's volleyball in particular, it's not as much of a big sport as women's volleyball. You don't see as many schools starting men's volleyball programs, and this isn't particularly because there's not a lot of guys who play volleyball. It's just that the fan base isn't there, and not a lot of people actually know that guys play volleyball. Another way to bring awareness to men's volleyball is by adding beach volleyball to NCAA and NAIA programs. At the moment, there currently is no NAIA or NCAA outlet for beach volleyball players. Um, and that's mainly because, like I said, not very many people know that men do play volleyball, and the fact that schools don't have enough money in the budget to save for an extra team like men's beach volleyball. So, certain schools that do have Division One or NAIA programs would be able to look over the idea of being able to add men's beach volleyball because it is a popular sport as far as recreational sports go. Um, and there's a lot of players in the East and West Coast mainly where there's a lot of beaches accessible and tournaments are being held. So that would be one way to also grow the men's volleyball game. So going off of traditional media, which is my first campaign, um, for the social media aspect, I'm going to be using Instagram and Facebook, which do have story options that are temporary but easily accessible when opening up the app. I'm going to be having my players and captains post at least once a week so people can just kind of see what's going on and keep up to date with how the program's doing. And would be able to post stats, records, just random clips, videos, and stuff like that so people can be up to date. Um, we're going to maximize our client push by sharing, talking about the program as much as possible, and networking with clubs, local clubs or local teams around us, trying to travel as much as possible in order to spread the name of Hartford men's volleyball. And this is going to definitely back up our Grow the Game campaign and it's going to be able to put a word out there for people to see that there's an option in Georgia for men's volleyball, which not many people do know. Um, Another thing that we're going to do is we're going to try to utilize digital media resources. This being the Adobe Suite and editing software, which in today's world technology is really big when utilizing social media for a marketing campaign. Um, so being able to edit pictures and videos is going to be very big. and it's going to allow us to compete with some of the schools that already have departments that are able to do so for them. So our success is going to be determined by how many clients we do get, clients being players and coaches that are willing to participate in our program. So we want to be able to just reach as many people as possible using those outlets for our campaign. As a new program, our main priority is to obviously try to make a name for our team, to compete, be humble, and make sure that people understand that this program is going to become established and it's trending in the right direction. We can also do this by networking with other volleyball programs, being local clubs, schools, and teams. This can also be teams and clubs from, outside of Georgia, and Florida and California would be a good base to try to spread our name as well. So our success is ultimately going to be marked by the outcome of our mission, which is to grow the game. So the staff that's going to end up being in charge of this campaign is all across the board. We have the athletic department, the coaches, captains, and players. Specifically, budgeting and approval for all of the requests that the coaches do end up having is going to be ran through the athletic director and the assistant athletic director. All of the networking and recruiting and planning, as far as away trips and community events, are going to be run through the head coach and the assistant coach. And then the smaller stuff like the social media and then the actual participation in the community events are going to be planned by the captains and the players, because young people nowadays, they're very tech savvy and know a lot about different programs that you can use on your phone as far as editing and stuff like that goes. So I feel like that'll be a good task for my players. As far as rating my organization's marketing efforts, I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10. We are a new program, so we can basically start fresh, and nobody really knows who we are, so why not try to make a name for ourselves and basically leave a legacy for younger athletes to continue to build in the future. Men's volleyball is a growing sport, so being able to establish a new program in a state where volleyball isn't as popular is going to be very big for the male side of volleyball. Um, and it'll hopefully rub off on other programs to hopefully look into the idea of adding a men's volleyball team where there's already a volleyball program established. So, like I said, it's going to be a big opportunity for young athletes to be able to pursue a college career when maybe they weren't thinking about going into college, or they were just going to go to another school to pursue a degree but just play volleyball on the side. This gives children or kids an opportunity to do both. So for core product and extensions, I would probably say our core product is our men's volleyball team. So again, it gives an opportunity for youth athletes to be able to pursue a career in men's volleyball. Um, we would be trying to enforce the hashtag grow the game because that is the tagline we'd want to go by. Some of the extensions would include sponsorships for businesses and sponsorships for youth programs. If there's money in the budget, I would be willing to help out youth programs that aren't necessarily doing too well, or they just don't have enough money in the budget to maybe add another team or travel to a few more tournaments. So here is my vision statement. Our men's volleyball team is dedicated to helping young athletes grow into even greater men and giving them the opportunity to pursue their dream of playing collegiate volleyball at a reputable program. The goal is for our athletes to spread positivity through the volleyball community and grow the game. So some of our core values are very important to us. It's not a very long list, but to start off, selflessness is really big. I want to make sure the guys know that yes, they're going to be able to join a program and they're going to have the opportunity to do what they want, but at the same time, they're doing it for something bigger. They're doing it for kids that maybe weren't going to have the opportunity to go to college and actually play volleyball, or for kids that maybe weren't the smartest in high school and are now being given the opportunity to enhance their intelligence and be able to start an actual college career when they maybe weren't planning on doing so. Humility is another big thing. I want to make sure the guys know that we aren't the best program out there. We are actually a new program, and people don't really know us by being a very intimidating and aggressive team. So making sure that guys know that we're starting from step one, and that we have to start to build up the program from the bottom up, and make sure that we leave a legacy. As far as being on the team goes, I want to make sure the guys keep a neutral mindset. Something that I've always learned as a younger kid is that you can never really have too many highs or too many lows. You want to try to stay somewhere in the middle and make sure that you understand the true path of where you're supposed to go, which is to be a competitive and successful athlete. And last, I would say is relentlessness. Relentlessness would be that when you set a goal, that you will do everything in your power to make sure that you achieve that goal. So for my SWOT analysis, my strengths are our program will be included in local tournaments and events, and this is going to be in order to really reach maximum client potential and to reach as many people as possible to spread our name and grow the program. I would like to show that we are motivated in bringing in new recruits and are willing to be open to all sorts of volleyball players to start off our new program. We are a program that dedicates a lot of its efforts into giving back to the community, and we would like to back up that hashtag grow the game. Our staff is very experienced. We have coaches who have been in the game for a long time, who have played at the highest level, and are lucky enough to be at our program coaching our players. Our program is known for its successful women's program, who have been in the national championship at least in the last 4 years, and this is a result of a great coaching staff. Some of our weaknesses include a list that isn't very big, but are important, is that we are a small school. So making our program known and pushing hard to put our name on the board for potential school options is very important to me, and I hope it's very important to our players. Georgia is not considered a very big volleyball state, so many athletes veer towards going to school in the West Coast where volleyball is very prevalent. Some of the opportunities include that we are a small school and the volleyball community is small, so it gives us a chance to back up our statement and build a bigger environment for volleyball. In order to grow the game, we are going to need to bring importance to the sport outside of comfortable areas like Florida and the West Coast. Basically trying to establish the fact that it really doesn't matter where you are, volleyball is going to be there. So as a volleyball player, you should be comfortable on where you're deciding to go, and establishing a program and making a name for ourselves is going to be able to make people more comfortable moving here and joining our program. So some of the threats include being a very small school in Georgia. It's very hard to compete against some of the West Coast schools who are constantly looking for talent across the country. They have established programs already, so that's going to be something that's going to have to push our efforts even higher. And we have to participate more in the recruiting process, and we need to be able to make younger athletes know what the benefits are for choosing our program, which include various academic opportunities. We have a great coaching staff, and we would like them to be a part of the legacy. So to finish things off, I'll talk about my goals and objectives for this marketing campaign. My end goal is to create an environment where players feel welcome and willing to help those around them. That's where humility comes in, and selflessness. I would like to create a competitive team that will bring home a championship for our program, and I would like to grow the game of men's volleyball. Thank you for listening to my PowerPoint.